Hello, I'm Bill LeMay, and thank you for watching Community Matters. We hope you'll continue to watch as we discuss issues facing our community and provide you with the resources and information needed to find solutions. Construction in Raleigh is held steady, and it seems everywhere you look, new neighborhoods and apartment complexes are going up everywhere. How does the market look, and what are people buying? We'll spend the next 30 minutes answering those questions and more. Here to start the conversation is Ryan Fitzgerald with Raleigh Realty. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Bill, thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Oh man, I've been reading the market is like red hot right now. Is that true?
It is freaking crazy right now, especially for sellers.
Well, give me some of the stats. What are we looking at in Raleigh? What's the market really like for folks?
Absolutely, and a lot of people thought last year was a great time to be a seller. This year is just simply out of control. I have some numbers here that I wanted to share with everybody. So the simple laws of supply and demand are really favoring sellers in the Raleigh real estate market right now. Showings are up 10%, so there's 10% more buyers than we had last year in the market. Resale homes are down 24%. So demand has gone up, supply has decreased. That means prices have gone up as well. They're up nearly 7% in Raleigh.
7% in Raleigh?
7%.
Just from a year ago?
From a year ago.
No wonder I know who the sellers are now, because they're smiling when I meet them.
Those are the ones.
Those are the ones. Well, what's driving this? Is this purely just a supply and demand?
It is. It's a big time supply and demand. Buyers are feeling a lot of pressure to get out of renting homes right now because Raleigh is the fastest appreciating rental market in the southeast quadrant of the United States right now.
I bet that's supply and demand too, isn't it?
It is. It is big time. So a lot of the folks who are buying are former renters who just simply don't want to pay these rental prices.
The market in Raleigh, because I know we had the downturn, although in Raleigh we were somewhat insulated. Building kind of stopped though. So how is that looking? Are we building more homes now to try to meet the supply, and when will that kind of meet that supply, and if you're a seller, what should you be doing?
Absolutely, and that's a great question. If you are a buyer, new construction is a great place to look. New construction homes are up 22%, so that's 22% more inventory than we had last year. And I was just reading an article the other day that there are 10,000 new homes coming to the Triangle to try and keep up with the 65 people per day net growth that Wake County is experiencing.
That's just absolutely incredible. Price ranges. I mean, is everybody doing well, or there are certain areas that if you're a seller and your home's worth X amount of dollars, you can be smiling, and others that are probably not?
Bill, that is a great question. Although the market is really, really good for sellers right now, it's not great for everyone. Under a $400,000 price point, let me read these data points. Right. 63% of resales listed in April went under contract. That's big. 70% of them were under contract in less than 30 days.
Wow.
30% of them, they sold over list price.
Really?
1 out of every 3 selling over list price in April.
Who would have thought? I mean, not that you care, folks, but I sold my home last year, and I'm going, right now I really am. I'm deflated by that. I should have hung on to it a while. For the sellers now, is there kind of a happy time to sell, in the sense that don't wait too long and jump in now, or what? What do you see down the road?
There's never a right time to sell. There is better times to sell than others. It depends on your current situation, financially, what you're trying to accomplish with your real estate goals. A lot of people buy homes to live there for a long time. Some people buy them for investments. So if you're going to sell maybe within the next 3 years, now is a great time to do so, because at some point this market is going to take a downturn. It's virtually impossible for it not to.
Well, for someone who's thinking about buying a home, let's say you want to sell a home and get a bigger home, which is generally what people do, are you going to be stuck, even though you made money off your house, you're going to have to pay more money for your house? Is that an issue?
Bill, that's a great question. Anybody who's doing that, I would recommend look at new construction neighborhoods. And the reason for that is they're much more likely to appreciate, especially if you get into those neighborhoods early on. For instance, there's a neighborhood in New Hill right now, Jordan Point. People who bought a month ago have already recognized $12,000 in appreciation because that neighborhood was brand new, and as people start buying homes, the prices begin to go up.
Is all of Raleigh experiencing this, or are there certain sections of Raleigh that are seeing the growth?
Every section of Raleigh is experiencing the growth. However, there are some that are experiencing it much more than others. Wake County as a whole is up 6%, where the city of Raleigh is up 7%.
That's amazing. Now, for buyers, I've read in the paper that some folks have been knocking on doors, even though there isn't a for sale sign, saying, hey, we'd like to move here. So that's pretty aggressive.
That is.
What do buyers have to do at this point?
So there's a lot of things buyers need to do, and part of being a buyer in today's market is understanding exactly how competitive it is. A lot of the buyers I'm working with, if they don't understand, they're going to miss on 1 or 2, sometimes even 3 homes, because there's going to be multiple offer situations that they're not ready for. So a home hits the market, it's day 1 on the market. You need to come in right around list price if you're going to have an opportunity. Otherwise, the seller is sitting back confidently and saying, I'll wait for another offer.
You know, we're going to get into kind of the do's and don'ts with buyers and sellers, but as a real estate guy, you must be pretty happy right now.
I am.
This is a pretty good time for you.
It is a great time, and there's a lot of happy sellers out there. Managing the buyer's frustrations when they do miss out on one is something that you need to set an upfront expectation for, so that when they do miss out on one, they're ready for it.
And how about the sellers? Do they have an expectation on their price? Are they asking for more than maybe is realistic as well?
So the sellers that are over $400,000 really need to be careful, because although everything seems great, over $400,000 price point is actually sitting. So although under 400 are selling in under 30 days, 70% of the time, over 400, they're still struggling a little bit. So anybody who's selling their home under $400,000, you know, they can afford to gamble a little bit, maybe, you know, test it out, maybe $5,000 to $10,000 higher than they normally would be able to sell it for.
Wow, that is some fun news if you happen to be a home owner and want to sell or buy. You know, when we come back, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we can talk about, you know, if you're looking at buying a home, what is it that you should be doing right now? And in fact, if you're selling a home, what you should be doing. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.